Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, from the sunny Caribbean, let's talk some boxing. So Lomachenko, he tries to defend Gennady Golovkin, and he explains why Jacobs did not beat Golovkin. He said, you've got to beat the champion to be able, comprehensively beat the champion, so everybody sees that, to be able to win against a champion. And this here is Villainify Media that covered this. Shout out to Villainify Media. You can go ahead and check out their channel. Now, based on what he said, I've created a response to that on the channel. And basically my response is very simple. If you have to beat a champion, then Sugar Ray Leonard shouldn't have gotten a split decision win over Marvin Hagler. If you guys know, that fight was close. And Sugar Ray Leonard won by split decision. You can go ahead and check it out. It is a controversial fight, and it is a controversial win by some people. Some people say Sugar Ray Leonard outboxed Hagler. Some people said Hagler landed some beautiful body work and broke down Sugar Ray Leonard. It's up to you. Leonard did survive to the end of the fight, but the point is, Sugar Ray Leonard was given the win over Marvin Hagler, and it has come to be accepted that he outboxed Marvin Hagler as time has gone along. But it was a split decision win. Canelo Alvarez, very recently, he beat Erislandy Lara, and that was also by a split decision win. And again, Erislandy Lara was the champion. Marvin Hagler was a long reigning world champion, and Erislandy Lara was a reigning world champion at the time Canelo faced him. And he still got the split decision win over Erislandy Lara. He didn't get the belt, but the point is, the saying that you have to beat the champion to get the belt, obviously you have to beat the champion, but no one can argue that he very clearly beat Erislandy Lara, and no one can argue that Sugar Ray Leonard very clearly beat Marvin Hagler. No one. Now, when it comes to Shane Mosley, he had a great fight against Oscar De La Hoya as well, and he came off with the split decision win over Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya being the WBC reigning welterweight champion at the time and undefeated. Actually, no, he had one loss. He had lost to Felix Trinidad, who was the first person to defeat him. So my point anyway is this, that for people to say that you have to clearly beat the champion, this is what Lomachenko is saying, when you look at the fight, you have to clearly beat them. It's not true, because if you have to clearly beat a champion, you ain't going to end up with a split decision win. You're not going to. Another perfect example of that was when Manny Pacquiao faced Juan Manuel Marquez for his super featherweight championship. Marquez was the super featherweight champion. I think it was WBC. And again, that was a very close fight in which Juan Manuel Marquez lost by split decision to Manny Pacquiao. Alright? So anybody telling you that to beat the champion, you have to clearly beat them. Of course, Manny Pacquiao did drop Juan Manuel Marquez early in the fight, in their second fight. But again, he did drop him, but Marquez, for the most part, outboxed him most of the fight and still lost the fight. So for those people who are saying that you have to comprehensively beat a champion to win fights, the evidence states otherwise. And we have some very notable fights in the history of boxing which people have said the other fighter beat the champion. But when we look at the fights at the time and the day, it was controversial. You know, people thought that Hagler won that fight against Sugar Ray Leonard. And that's why Hagler retired from boxing. He never came back to boxing. Some people argue that Canelo lost to Erislandy Lara. That's how close those fights were. Shane Mosley versus Oscar De La Hoya was so incredulous that no one really questioned that he beat Oscar, but they knew it was a close fight. Okay? They thought it was a big deal because Mosley came up from lightweight to fight Leonard and was able to hang in there with him, so the wow factor was there. With Pacquiao versus Marquez, again, people questioned whether Marquez kept his title or Pacquiao beat him at the time. So again, this is the reason why Pacquiao had to rematch Marquez a couple times. So to say that to beat a champion, what you have to do is you have to basically clubber them over the head, it's not true. Okay, I'll give you some other controversial fights. We have Floyd Mayweather versus Jose Luis Castillo. That was a closer fight than the scorecards admitted. We also have Oscar De La Hoya versus Pernell Whitaker, which was also a close fight, but the judges scored it very wide. And these are all controversial fights. Up to this day, people say, well, Castillo actually should have retained his title because, you know, he beat Mayweather coming down the stretch, and other people say different things. Now, in the rematch, we realized that Floyd did beat Castillo, and so a lot of these fights, what they need are rematches. For instance, Canelo, I would suggest he rematch Erislandy Lara. Manny Pacquiao rematched Juan Manuel Marquez 2 more times. Okay, Sugar Ray Leonard should have rematched Marvin Hagler. That's on Sugar Ray Leonard. He should have made sure that fight happened. And Mosley, he did rematch De La Hoya a second time, and he was awarded an even wider decision over him, even though I argue that De La Hoya beat him in the second fight. But that's another story for another day. So I just wanted to share with you guys this because, you know, we try to break knowledge on my channel. We try to educate. We don't just like to entertain. On that note, you guys have a great one.